Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome to another Madden video. I don't really know what to call this because it's not technically like a rebuild, but it kind of is like a rebuild. I don't know. Basically, we're going to try to save the Cincinnati Bengals season because they are just in a downward spiral of all downward spirals. So at the beginning of the season, a couple of games into the year, Joe Burrow gets hurt. I think he has like a turf toe plus a couple other things on his foot that's wrong with it. So he goes down with an injury. Who knows when he's going to come back? Then they don't really have a backup plan for him. They had Jake Browning as their backup quarterback, which, yeah, Jake Browning showed a flash or two here or there of actually being a competent quarterback in the NFL. But we all know the truth that Jake Browning is absolute garbage. And the only thing good that Jake Browning's done in his life, other than make the NFL, is have that girlfriend that he has. So Jake Browning has started the past 3 games, I think, as the starting quarterback of the Bengals, and he's got significantly worse every single game, and to the point where the Bengals had no other option than to trade for, of all people, Joe Flacco of the Cleveland Browns, which opens the door for either Dylan Gabriel, probably Dylan Gabriel for the start until he starts to suck, which is probably inevitable, to start at quarterback for the Browns. But Joe Flacco comes to the Cincinnati Bengals. I think it was like Joe Flacco in a 6th-round pick from the Lions, which the Browns had, and the Browns got back like a 5th-round pick or something like that. I've worked it all out in the franchise, so Joe Flacco is going to be the starting quarterback until Joe Burrow gets back. And as of right now, I have no idea when Joe Burrow gets back. So we're going to play it out as if Joe Burrow is done for the season. I don't think he actually is going to be done for the season in real life. But in this video, Joe Burrow will not play in season number 1. It's going to be Joe Flacco the rest of the way. Can we fix this Bengals team and get them to the playoffs? I don't know. This is this is going to be a tough ask to try to do, but we're going to try and do it. This is I'm only doing this video because of a suggestion from one of you guys. I think it was Tommy who suggested it in one of my comments of one of my videos or one of my posts or something like that. So thank you, Tommy, for suggesting the video idea. And here we are trying to save the Cincinnati Bengals season. Can we do it? I have absolutely no idea. If you're going to enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe channel, join the Juice Club. Let's go see what we're working with. Okay, so I've already won and lost all of the games to match the record that the Bengals have at this point. So if we go over here to the schedule, I have the Bengals won the first 2 games, Browns and Jaguars. Then they lost the next 3, Vikings, Broncos, and Lions. Obviously, Joe Burrow gets hurt in that Jaguars game, I think, and then they lose the next 3. And now we're right here, week number 6. As of recording this video, we are at week number 6 of the regular season. And you can see that the Bengal playbook is helping Jake Browning actually be a productive quarterback. But we've got Joe Flacco, not Joe Burrow, another Joe. We've got Joe Flacco on the team. Here he is, fresh off his horrible run with the Cleveland Browns. He is 40 years old. He's an old man, former Super Bowl MVP, by the way. The rest of the team is how you would expect it to look. The offense line is just awful. There's some promise, like Amarius Mims has some promise. Dylan Fairchild has some promise. We've got Chase Brown. Obviously, we got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Yoshivas. We've got Mike Gesicki on the offense. And then on defense, it's a defense. There's guys that I like on here. Like Logan Wilson's a good player. Demetrius Knight's young, kind of unproven. We don't know what we're going to get out of him. Shamar Stewart's good and has promise. Trey Hendrickson's obviously a very productive player. We know what he can become or what he's done in the past. Jordan Battle I like a lot. Geno Stone I'm a big fan of. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this team's going to simulate. I have no idea, but we got Joe Flacco on here, and that's the whole point. Let's see how we go. Packers are 4-0. Obviously, I didn't simulate the rest, or I didn't fix the rest of the games around the season. I was just kind of focusing on the Bengals schedule, so I didn't make sure the Packers record was what it was supposed to be. But they beat us anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And we've got a breakout situation for a receiver. It is Andre Yoshivas. 75 yards and a touchdown. I feel like that could be doable. I mean, he's only going from normal to star. I feel like 75 yards and a touchdown is doable. We'll just see if Joe Flacco wants to throw to him. Taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. If we don't make anything happen here in the next couple of games, we might have to try to make a trade or something. We do beat the Steelers 24-7, which is nice. What do we have here for Yoshivas? Tough games happen, so he didn't achieve it. How do you not get 75 yards and a touchdown? Maybe he got 75 yards, but he didn't get a touchdown. I did load in the actual 2026 NFL draft class just to kind of add a little bit more immersion to it. We beat the Jets as well. Now we go into the bye week with a game against the Bears. Duh, Bears. And we will go into the bye week with a win. So we've turned it around to a 5-4 season. Okay. Okay, Joe. Jingling Joe Flacco. We also got a receiver breakout. Probably same thing for Yoshivas again. Newton's getting some good development. Shamar Stewart's getting developed. Nice to see some young guys getting upgrades. Let's see if he's got it. Yes, it is again for Andre Yoshivas, and we'll try to see if we can get him a dev trade upgrade. 3 receptions and 75 yards. Okay, that's a little bit more achievable than the touchdown one. 3 catches and 75 yards. I feel like he can do that, right? I would hope he can do that. We'll see. Probably not, knowing my luck. We pick up a win against the Steelers. Okay, we're on a little bit of a roll right now. Patriots are 9-2. Yes, please. Why couldn't they be 9-2 in real life? I know we set a different goal for this week. He didn't get it. Yeah, okay. How do you not get 3 catches, 75 yards? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I have no idea. Stewart gets 2 upgrade points. He's growing like crazy. That's always good to see. How's Joe Flacco doing with the stats and stuff? So Joe Flacco, through however many games we've played, 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 3 picks. You know what? That's pretty good. Now, Joe Flacco didn't play for the Browns in this universe, so he doesn't have the Brown stats that he had. And Jake Browning started the entire season because I forgot to, when I loaded up the roster, Joe Burrow's injured on the roster. So when I loaded up this franchise, I forgot to do the generate best lineup when I took the injury off. So, yeah, Joe Burrow doesn't have any passing stats from the first 2 games. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's all about Joe Flacco this year. It's all about Joe Flacco. And he's putting up good numbers, but we got to take on a tough Patriots team here. Very, very tough Patriots team. 9-2. We lose to them. So currently we're 6-5. We're the number 6 team in the AFC, and we have to play the undefeated Ravens. Yeah, you can tell I didn't adjust any other teams' records than the Bengals because the Ravens are 11-0. They are very far from that in real life, and they killed us. We're 6-6. We fall into the 10th seed. Oh no, things are starting to crumble for the Bengals here. Things are starting to crumble for Cincinnati. We pick up another loss to the Buffalo Bills, and now we have to play the Ravens again. Oh, this is not ideal. This is not ideal. Only a few games left to go this season. Flacco's over 2,000 yards, 16 picks, and 9 interceptions. He's starting to struggle a little bit. He's starting to struggle a little bit. I don't know if it's possible to save this Bengals team. Is there anything I can do, any trades that I can make to boost this team at the last second? Maybe we can go all in on offensive line. Can I go in all on offensive line? There's only a few games left to go, so it might be a little too late. Maybe I should have done it earlier. What kind of offensive lineman can I get? Centers. There's got to be some sort of center I can grab who can help this team out. Not really. There's not a ton of centers in the league that are that good in 2026 or 2025, whatever year we're in. Cam Jurgens, that might not be a bad one. What do they want for him? They just want DJ Turner and a couple of picks. 2027, 2026. Cam Jurgens might not be a bad one. You know what? I can deal with that. They just want DJ Turner. I guess I'd be okay with giving up DJ Turner. What's our cornerback situation looking like? We've got Cam Taylor-Britt, DJ Turner, Dax Hill, Josh Newton, Marco Wilson. We don't really have the depth to give up DJ Turner, so maybe I'm not okay with doing that. I guess I could be giving up a 2nd-round pick, a 3rd-round pick, and a 6th-round pick for Cam Jurgens. So that gets us a center. We also need a guard, a right guard. So what kind of right guard are we looking at here? Lindstrom. Jackson Powers Johnson. Khalil Dotson might not be a bad one. Cesar Ruiz. Ed Ingram. Zeitler. Will Freeze. Quinn Miners. Is Quinn Miners achievable? No, Quinn Miners is too high of overall. I was just kind of hoping maybe he'd be available. Cody Mouch. Wiley. Mekhi Becton, Sam Cosmi. What about the young man Tyler Booker? He's not achievable. Okay. Had to figure that out. Cole Strange is on Miami now? I didn't realize that. Tyler Steen, Chris Lindstrom. Is Lindstrom? Oh no, Pooney. Dominic Pooney. He's always a good option. But no trade options. Okay. That means I'm gonna have to make my own trade. Who do I give up? Who do I give up to get him? Hmm. Who do I give up? I guess I could give up Ted Karras since we have Jurgens now. I could give up Ted Karras. They need a center. We also wouldn't need Lucas Patrick anymore since we're getting Pooney. But that doesn't really do much. What can I give up to get him? What can I give up to give him? I guess I'd probably have to just go to draft picks. It's probably where I'm going to have to go, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like draft picks is where I'm going to have to go. All right, well, I guess I can give up like a third round pick in 2028. Maybe not. Maybe a second round pick in 2028. I don't want to give up too much. I'm trying to be stingy here. All right, Pooney's a little bit more valuable than I would prefer. But I think he's the right option for us, although he might take a first round pick in 2028. That gets us closer at least. What about a third round pick in 2027? I know I'm not helping this out with giving the players that I'm giving away. They're not that valuable, obviously. A first and a second? Oh, that gets it real close. That gets it real close. What about a third? A third does it. So a first, a second, and a third, plus Ted Karras and Patrick gets us Dominic Pooney. So we upgrade the offensive line with Cam Jurgens and Dominic Pooney. All right, so that looks a little bit better now. The offensive line looks a little bit better. We've got Joe Burrow now as the starting quarterback because I generated best lineup, so we'll do that. All right, I mean Chase Brown's a fine running back, but he's nothing special. And then at linebacker, we've got Orlin Burks, Barrett Carter. I mean, Barrett Carter's a 71 at Sam linebacker. Maybe he can develop a little bit. Although maybe we should go in on a Sam linebacker. Is there a Sam linebacker out there? I thought there's not many Sam linebackers in the league, is there? That's like the one position that's like nobody plays in this game. Yeah, there's only a few people at each team that are in it, even an option here. Leo Chenal, Muma. I don't even know if it's worth it. We should probably just let Barrett Carter play the position and see if he can develop. Yeah, there's not really anybody here worth going after. Now, what about trade block? What kind of trade block people are here? So we don't need a quarterback because this is all about Joe Flacco. Running back, you got Rashad White. I mean, there's some cool running backs here, but are they really that much better than Chase Brown? I mean, they got a better dev trait, but are they really that much better? Wide receiver, we've got Chase and Higgins, so we're kind of good at wide receiver. Tight end, I mean, we could use a younger tight end, but I don't really like anybody here. Offensive line, we're pretty good now at offensive line with the upgrades we made. Edge rusher, Arnold Ebikety's cool, but does Arnold Ebikety make this team a playoff team? Maybe. Peace Isaac, Sam linebacker, Mike linebacker. Could use an extra corner, I guess, and there's not really many there. Keely Ringo. Does Keely Ringo do anything? Let me go to the Eagles and ask for Keely Ringo. I mean, we already talked to the Eagles about Cam Jurgens, so they're willing to make deals with us. But does Keely Ringo really do anything for me? They want Orlando Brown or a fourth and a seventh. I guess I'd be willing to give up a 4, 5, and a 7 for Keely Ringo. He doesn't really do much for us. He is extra depth. We'll see what he does. Maybe he can help us out. We got a very young quarterback room, that's for sure, with the addition of Ringo. All right, maybe those are the trades that we make. Maybe those are the trades they make. Except for, let me just take one more look at running back and see if there's anybody that would be a better option than what we have. Bijan obviously be a better option. I'm just kidding. What's a better option than what we have with Chase Brown? Because Chase Brown's cool, but that dev trait's not going to help us out. Maybe a Chuba Hubbard type? How hard is he to get? There's no trade packages. We probably could get him if I gave a bunch of first-round picks for him. Ashton Genty, Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry, Kamara, Walker, Jalen Warren, Joe Mixon. Maybe I bring Joe Mixon back to Cincinnati. Montgomery, James Cook, Dobbins. Hmm. I don't know if there's a guy here. I don't know if there's a guy here. Jonathan Taylor. Can I grab Jonathan Taylor for first round picks? How valuable do they have Jonathan Taylor at? Okay, so what about if I give up Chase Brown and give up a first round pick or a second round pick? Okay, we're speaking languages together. I don't really have a lot of extra picks to give up, but this could work. There's a possibility. It's a thin possibility, but it could work. They need a D tackle. Don't really have the depth at D tackle. I guess McKinley Jackson, but he's not going to move this needle, is he? No. Jonathan, I'm just trying things with Jonathan Taylor. I don't know if it's actually possible. Probably not possible. It'd be sick if it was. What about Oren Burks? Yeah, this is probably off the table for Jonathan Taylor, but I had to at least try. I wouldn't. I mean, it probably would go through if I gave up my other first round pick, but I had to at least try for Jonathan Taylor just to see where they were at. And it is possible I probably could get him, like I said, if I gave up another first round pick. What else could I try to do? Brees Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs. I think we should just stay with Chase Brown. I feel like he's good enough. And this Bengal playbook doesn't really work with um, running backs anyway. So we'll see what we got. Did we make any other trades? Let me just adjust the lineup real quick. Make sure we got everybody in the right spot, and then we'll put Jake Browning there, and then Flacco there, and then Browning there. Okay, so everything's back to the way that it should be. The offensive line looks a lot better now with the addition of Pooney, and now DJ Turner's the number one corner. I guess I'm okay with that. Maybe this team can turn it around the next couple games. I doubt it. We're taking on the Baltimore Ravens. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. We will lose to the Baltimore Ravens. What about this game against the Miami Dolphins? What about this game against the Miami Dolphins? What do we got here? Another loss. Wow, we're really just racking up the losses, aren't we? We're really just racking up them losses. Another loss. I can't fix the Bengals season. I could not save the Cincinnati Bengals, man. That's crazy. We lost almost every single game. We finished 7-10, missed the postseason. Maybe that's just what's going to happen. Maybe that's just what is going to happen. All right, well, Joe Burrow finishes the year, or Joe Flacco finishes the year with 3,100 yards, 20 touchdowns, 17 picks. Yeah, that's pretty rough. That's pretty rough, I'll say that. Chase Brown, see, this is why I didn't really want Jonathan Taylor, or I wanted him, but I'm not super upset we didn't get him, is because the running back doesn't really do much in the Bengal playbook in Madden. 3 1,000-yard receivers. Yoshivas might have himself star dev, even without getting the breakout naturally. He might just go up and get it, because he had 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. Jamar Chase puts up 1,200 yards. T. Higgins puts up 1,100 yards. So Flacco was at least spreading the wealth, which is what he needs to do. Oren Burks leads the team in tackles, 156. Wilson had 149. Battle had 115. A lot of tackles. Oh, my God. I didn't realize the Bengal playbook had this many tackles. That's crazy. Tackle for loss leader is Henderson with 13. Stewart had 12. Sack leader was Shamar Stewart. That's huge for the rookie. Maybe that'll be rookie of the year defensively. That'd be pretty sick. A lot of players had interceptions, 3 and 2 for a bunch of people. But we missed the Super Bowl, unfortunately. Missing out on the Super Bowl is kind of tough, but Joe Burrow will be back for the next season. Joe Burrow will be back for the next season. It's the Eagles and the Bills in the Super Bowl. How creative. How creative. Eagles, Bills, Super Bowl. Maybe that's what happens in real life. Who knows? But the Eagles lose. I thought the Eagles got it done. The Eagles lose to the Buffalo Bills, so the Buffalo Bills get it done. They win a championship. James Cook III is your MVP of the Super Bowl. Josh Allen wins wins MVP. Josh Downs and TJ Watt are the players of the year. And Travis Hunter and Oladejo are your rookies of the year. I need to focus and get Oladejo in my rebuilds because Oladejo simulates so well. It's actually kind of scary how well he simulates. He's such a good piece to add to any team you're rebuilding. All right, so this is the year. So Joe Flacco has retired, so Joe Burrow will be back as the starter. He couldn't get the job done, unfortunately. But the team's looking pretty good. The offensive line already looks better. Defensively, we need to get a Sam linebacker or just somebody to fill that role because it's not going to be Oren Burks. The defense, other than that, looks pretty solid. Maybe we add another defensive tackle instead of BJ Hill. I don't know. Let's move on. Let's move on to negotiations. See what we're working with here. Player negotiations. We have $95 million. There's Trey Hendrickson, Cam Taylor-Britt. So does Trey Hendrickson not have his new contract in the game? I guess not, because he's obviously here. Well, I guess I'll give him a 2-year deal. At least that gives me a chance to give him less money than he got in real life, I think. Let's offer him that, and he's going to come back for 2 more seasons. Cam Taylor-Britt, that's a lot of money for Cam Taylor-Britt. But he is probably our best corner. So we probably do need to bring him back. And he's going to return, thank God. All right, that leaves us with $45 million. Dax Hill, I want back as well. We're paying a lot of money to these guys, and they're not that highly rated, but they're asking for a lot of money. He's going to come back. Geno Stone, I want back. Like Geno Stone a lot. I'd be willing to give him that much money. And our money's quickly draining. We had like, what, 50 million or something like that? It's quickly draining. Jake Browning, I'll give a new contract to because no, I can't pay Jake Browning that much money. I can't do it. Everybody else we're gonna lose. Joseph Asai, I don't care about. Noah Fan, I don't care about. I'd rather keep the $26 million and go into free agency rather than pay those guys. So let's move into free agency here. What are we working with? What are we twerking with here? So Brandon Aubrey, we don't need a quarterback, and surprisingly, Aaron Rodgers did not retire. Usually when I simulate one season in my rebuilds, Aaron Rodgers retires after the first year. Running back, there's nobody here better than what we get with what's his face, Chase Brown. So we'll just keep Chase Brown at least for now. Maybe we make a trade for somebody better. Marquise Brown, the wide receiver room's fine. I mean, we have 2 of the best. At tight end, Darren Waller, Noah Fant's back. Noah Fant is asking for too much money. He's just asking for a little bit too much money. But an Adam Troutman type, or maybe a Colby Parkinson, those guys aren't asking for that much money. Let me get an Adam Troutman type in here. He's not asking for nearly as much money as what Noah Fant's asking for. So let me just get a little Adam Troutman offer. Offensive line, I think we're pretty good. We don't really need anybody now that we made those trades in the season. There's Arnold Ebiketie. He doesn't really want to be here. He's asking for maybe a little bit too much. There's nobody better at D-tackle. Jadeveon Clowney's kind of cool. Sam linebacker, don't like it. Mike linebacker, no. Will linebacker, no. Corner, nobody better than what we have. Marcus Jones is cool, though. I do like Marcus Jones, but he's asking for $11 million per year. Yeah, I'm not paying that. Ardarius Washington, we don't really need a safety, do we? We kind of have pretty solid safeties. I think that's all we're going to be doing. I think we're going to only offer Adam Troutman. It's not a very splashy free agency, but that wasn't really good class. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. So we'll go to the draft and see what we got now that Joe Burrow's back. We should be better now that Burrow's back. I just wish I could have fixed the team before Flacco got done. But there wasn't anything I could do, man. We couldn't do anything. Here we go. Into the draft. We do have the real draft picks, or prospects, I guess. I'm not even sure what we're going to need, really. What pick do we even have? Hold on. Mock draft, number 5. Arch Manning to the Browns. Good luck with that. We have number 11. They want us to take Avian Terrell, who I think is the brother or cousin. Something related to AJ Terrell from the Falcons. I think he's the brother, but I don't know for sure. All right, let's generate the best lineup here so we know what we're working with. So we could use an extra tight end. Yoshivas did actually go up to star dev, so that's pretty sick. Good for him. We need a Sam linebacker. We need a possible better tight end than what we have with Gesicki. We need an upgraded D tackle over BJ Hill. Then we could probably trade BJ Hill if we get an upgraded D tackle. So there's a couple things we could look out for. I don't think I'm going to take Avian Terrell. Maybe I will. I guess we'll see what's on the board. Let's sim to our user pick. Arch Manning does go number 1 overall to the Browns, so they got their quarterback. Cade Klubnik's still available. Caden Proctor's available. I don't hate that. Max Clare at Ohio State. That's enticing. Okay, Jordan Tyson, Denzel Boston's a good player. Carnell Tate, I love. Francis Mauigoa. There's some good offensive linemen here. Maybe we should go. Nick Harbor, legendary. South Carolina. This hasn't been North Carolina for some reason. South Carolina wide receiver, Heisman Trophy winner in our dynasty. And then there's Avian Terrell. So what do we need the most? What? Oh, Lenore Sellers is down here as well. Also legendary South Carolina player. It also has him at North Carolina. I don't know why they messed that up. The whoever created this roster. Avian Terrell. Do I want him or do I go like offensive line? Because now that we upgraded, we have Amarius Mims and Orlando Brown. Maybe I could trade Orlando Brown. I'd take Caden Proctor, trade Orlando Brown. That might not be a bad idea. You know what? Let's take Caden Proctor and trade Orlando Brown. Maybe we get something good for or for Orlando Brown. He's hidden dev. That's a solid pick. Nothing too flashy. Nothing too flashy. We move to the second round. What's available now? Lenore Sellers still available. Carnell Tate's still available. So is Nick Harbor. I can't believe Carnell Tate's still available. That's disrespectful. The corners are not really that good. I might have missed my opportunity to get. There's probably I could have gotten a better offensive or another offensive lineman. So maybe I missed my opportunity there. But there's a round 1 to 2 guy in Tyler Gary. I'm not sure who this is, but he looks phenomenal. I can't pass that up. We need a Sam linebacker. He's number 36 in true value. He's got a hidden dev. He looks like a great player. I can't pass up the opportunity to get him, even though Carnell Tate was available, and I probably would have taken him. Now in the fourth round, what other stuff is available? All the quarterbacks are done. No running backs that are good. Wide receivers are all trash. Tight ends. Is there any tight ends that might still be good? What about physicals? Any great speed? There's a couple great speed tight ends. Enrique Amarillo. There's a bunch of elite strength players. But I might take this tight end here in the fourth round. He's got a lot of athleticism. He ends up being number 140 in true value, normal dev. He's whatever. He's a whatever pickup. Nothing too special. And then probably the final pick. I might even make this pick. Is there any corner that's good? Any good athletic corners still available? There's one elite speed or elite acceleration corner. It's Lance Hall, but he's only got solid speed. This guy, Brandon Harbor, at least has great and great. Let's just take him. We'll take him. He's number 99 in true value, normal dev, but that's pretty solid. I'll take that. And then we'll skip to the end of the draft there. All right, so the draft went pretty well. We're going to trade Orlando Brown to get something else. Jack Sawyer's on the block. 72 overall for Caden Proctor, 74 for Gary, 70 for Brandon Harbor. So he ends up actually being a pretty solid player. And then the best players in the class was Arch Manning at 80 overall, Eugene Wilson, Caden Green. All right. Those are your guys. If we would have got Avian, I probably should have taken Avian Terrell. I may have missed an opportunity to get him there. He probably looked pretty good. But that's okay. Because I like what we have now. And now that we free up the spot with Orlando Brown, we can get something else. I don't know what we're going to get for him, but we can get something else. Where is he at? Here he is. And he costs a lot of money, too. So Orlando Brown, we can get Harold Fannin Jr. or Keaton Mitchell. I feel like we can get something else for that, right? Who needs a left tackle? The Broncos desperately need a left tackle. Okay, well, we can work with this. So what kind of player can I get? I can get a draft pick probably, but can I get a player? Can I get Nick Bonito? That'd be a sick player to grab. Oh, no, Nick Bonito can't come over here because the Broncos have no money. I probably wouldn't get Nick Bonito anyway, but the Broncos have no money. Well, that sucks. The Browns do need a left tackle, though, and we've have some history working with the Browns with trades. There's Arch Manning. They signed Tyler Algier when they have Quinshawn and Dylan Sampson. Very strange. They have a horrible offensive line. They took Denis Dennis Sutton, which would be a pretty solid guy to have on this team. Myles Garrett, Jerome Baker, Schlesinger, JOK, Johnson, Delpit. They took Caleb Downs, too. Can I get Caleb Downs? Caleb Downs and a draft pick? No. What about just Caleb Downs then? Oh, I can. Okay, so Orlando Brown gives me Caleb Downs, which is pretty sick. I love Caleb Downs, which means we can move on from the strong safety that we have currently, which is Jordan Battle. Jordan Battle can get me Jalen Tolbert, Alex Anzalone, Jedrick Wills, Deontay Banks. Getting a guy like Deontay Banks might not be bad. So let's do that. 1-for-1 swap with Deontay Banks, which means we have an extra corner now. So let me go to the adjust the lineup screen. All right, so that's what we're working with. Caden Proctor now on the offensive line. Defensively, we have Gary, we have Caleb Downs. All right, we're looking better now. We're looking better now. The corners are still good. We're still working on that D tackle, though. Still trying to figure out that D tackle spot. Maybe we can package BJ Hill and one of our corners because we have a lot of corners now. So maybe we can package maybe a Keelan Ringo that we traded for along with a D tackle BJ Hill and get another D tackle. We can get Tyson Campbell, which funny enough got traded to the Browns in real life. What kind of D tackles can we grab? What kind of D tackles can I grab? There's got to be somebody out here that's available. Walter Nolan's probably a little bit too expensive to get. Payne Clark, Sealer, Jalen Carter, DJ Reader. Sexy Dexy be cool, but he's almost impossible to grab. Derek Brown, Milton Williams. There's got to be somebody. Maybe Brandon Fisk. I wouldn't hate Brandon Fisk. We'll keep an eye on that one. That might be the way we go. He's probably going to be hard to grab, but he's got to be more attainable than some of these other guys. Unless Jeffrey Simmons is attainable. How expensive is he going to be to get? Ooh, okay, he's pretty hard to get. I just wanted to throw it out there. You never know. Maybe they don't value him as much because he's older. But what about Brandon Fisk? All right, that's an achievable start. We can work with this. We also got Barrett Carter. I could toss you Oren Burks because I don't need him. I don't like that very much, do they? I guess it's going to have to be draft picks. All we have is our first round pick. I can give a second round pick in 2029, and that's going to do it. So Keely Ringo, BJ Hill, and Oren Burks with a second round pick in 2029 gets us Brandon Fisk. So at least that's a little bit of a better upgraded D tackle. Slightly better upgrade. But I think this team looks a lot better now, especially because we have Joe Burrow back. That's going to help. But I like the team. Let's see what happens in year number 2. We'll simulate, and maybe this team actually be better with Joe Burrow at quarterback. I know, shocker, right? That's kind of a crazy statement. Year 2's done, and we suck. 7-10. Isn't that the exact same record that we had? I think it is. So Joe Burrow, I mean, he puts up good individual numbers, but I think we found out over the time of playing Madden 26 that the Bengal playbook, very good for quarterback receiver numbers, but horrible for team simulation numbers. We don't simulate well at all as a team, but the receivers and the quarterbacks in general do very well. I mean, Jamar Chase has an unbelievable Offensive Player of the Year season. He put up 1,800 yards. That's got to be Offensive Player of the Year. Logan Wilson puts up great numbers. Barrett Carter has 120 tackles. Geno Stone. Caleb Downs comes in and puts up crazy numbers. Tackle for loss leader is Braden Fisk with 17. Good to see that. Sack leader is Hendrickson with 12. Good thing we paid him. Jamar Stewart at 6.5. Interception numbers, Barrett Carter at 3. So not many interceptions this year, but still good numbers individually, just not good numbers as a team. As we missed the playoffs for the second year in a row, and I think have the exact same record. So we go from Joe Flacco to Joe Burrow. We don't have any change in record. Are you serious? That doesn't make much sense to me now, does it? We might have to change our offensive playbook. Because we know that Joe Burrow can put up the numbers, but we might need to go like Bills offense or something to make this work because it's not working otherwise. We're going to have another pretty solid draft pick, probably around the same number, 11, 10, 12, something like that. Ravens get a Super Bowl. Congratulations to them. They were unbelievable this year. What was their record? They went, I can't see it. Doesn't matter. Roquan Smith is the MVP of the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes wins MVP of the league. Jamar Chase does, in fact, win the Offensive Player of the Year, along with Micah Parsons winning Defensive Player of the Year. And then Eugene Wilson and Keldrick Falk are your Rookies of the Year this year. All right. Good news. Good things to know. I feel like we should have had a better season, but I think it's just playbook dependent at this point. We have $72 million. We're obviously going to accept the option on Amarius Mims, Deontay Banks, Yoshivas. All right, there's actually some interesting people in here. So DJ Turner, I do want back. I do want DJ Turner back. So we'll go and get him. Hopefully he accepts this. He wants to test free agency. Okay, I guess we might franchise tag you. 26.2 is not that bad. We'll see if we can get Deontay Banks back first, though. We might not need DJ Turner. Maybe we can trade DJ Turner for something a little bit more valuable. We do get Deontay Banks back. Yoshivas, we want back because he's our best third string wide receiver. So we definitely want him back. And he's going to return. And then after that, we should definitely get Chase Brown back because he's our running back. So he's our starter. We don't really have another option. So we'll offer Chase Brown a contract. He's going to return. Charlie Jones, we have Trey Lance. Okay. Cody Ford. We don't need any of these guys. Do I want to franchise tag DJ Turner or do I want to just straight up trade for a new corner? I might be able to get a new corner. The trade block, Jonah Jackson, Katron Allen, Tevin Jenkins. We don't need offensive linemen. They're not really giving me... Mecole Hardman's a superstar dev? Okay. They're not really giving me any options of guys that I absolutely have to have. These guys are cool. But I might be able to grab an extra corner that could be better than DJ Turner in the future. I mean, it's not like we need corner. We have pretty good corner. But if I can get Benjamin Morrison... Benjamin Morrison goes crazy in Sim. But the Bucks have no money. Why, Tampa? Why do you have no money? That sucks. Now I have to trade for... Because I really want Benjamin Morrison. I think he'd be the perfect guy. But now I have to ask for something else. It's going to make it harder to trade for. You son of a gun. Graham Barton. Maybe you give me Graham Barton at center. That actually is pretty solid. I guess I could toss in Juergens if I'm getting an upgrade. And that goes through. So Benjamin Morrison and Graham Barton are now our starters. Well, not our starters, but two new additions. I'm okay with that. That's pretty good because Graham Barton's got a star dev, so that'll help out better than Juergens did. We'll generate the best lineup. And okay. Offense line's looking good. We do need to upgrade on Gesicki because he's kind of just holding us back at this point. So it's somewhere down the line we need to upgrade. I did load in the 2027 draft, so it does have a couple duplicates. I think I saw Lenore Sellers in there again. So it's whatever. It's not a big deal. Zay Flowers is available. He's always available. And Sam Laporta. I was just asking for an upgrade at tight end. I think I might have just found it. I was just asking for an upgrade at tight end over Gesicki. I might have just found my upgrade. So let's spend as much money as physically possible to get Sam Laporta on this Bengals roster. He likes that deal. And we are the best by a bar. So I'll take that. Brian O'Neill, Ronnie Stanley are cool, but we're pretty good at offensive line. Corner, Jair Alexander. I mean, that could be a fun one. Tank Bigsby could also be fun. There's a couple cool names in here. If I'm gonna go over anybody, I'd probably go after Jair Alexander just for the fun of it. Try to go all in. I don't know if we'd even be able to get in the race for him, but maybe we could try. 2-year deal for Jair Alexander. See what happens. So our targeted guys are Jair and Sam Laporta. What's going to happen? Are we going to get the both of them? We don't get Sam Laporta. He signed with the Rams. Oh, that's killer. That's killer. We didn't even get Jair Alexander. He signed with the Panthers. Wow, we swung out on both of those guys. Not getting Sam Laporta is crazy. I mean, Michael Mayer is pretty cool too, but Sam Laporta would have been a phenomenal upgrade. How did we swing and miss on that? How did we swing and miss on that? That's kind of insane, actually. Do I go after Marlon Humphrey for a couple seasons? I mean, it can't hurt, right? I know we just brought in Benjamin Morrison, but it can't hurt to at least offer Marlon Humphrey. We're in the lead. We're the only guys going after Michael Mayer. We do get Michael Mayer. We didn't get Marlon Humphrey either. We're swinging and missing on corners, man. We're swinging and missing on corners. Good thing corner's not like a huge need for us. I was kind of just trying to boost because of overall purposes. But, I mean, we're just swinging and missing on corners, man. I could probably trade Mike Gesicki for something. Maybe another tight end. He doesn't have any trade packages. Can I just get a backup tight end better than Eric All? Maybe like a Colston Loveland? No, the Bears have no cap space. God, no team ever has any freaking cap space. I wish that they could figure that out. Harold Fannin might not be a bad one to go after. Let me just get Harold Fannin, please. They can't just do a 1-for-1, can they? They got to make it difficult. All right, that goes through. So we get a backup tight end in Harold Fannin. So now we got Michael Mayer and Harold Fannin. I'm okay with both of those guys on the team. We're going to switch to the Bills playbook, so it's going to work out better for them anyway. Let's get to the draft. This is the Jeremiah Smith draft. So if he's available, I'll grab him. You can bet your bottom dollar and your top dollar. You can bet all your dollars that I'm going to take Jeremiah Smith if he's available. All right, so what are we working with here? Let me go to the mock draft number 5 because I still know what draft pick we have. Jeremiah Smith's number 2. Dylan Stewart, South Carolina legend. Dylan Raiola, Ryan Williams. Where are we picking at? We're picking at 12. They have us taking Luke Reynolds, tight end. Well, we don't need tight end anymore because we got Michael Mayer. Ellis Robinson's not a bad one. There's Lenore Sellers again. I'm not really even sure what we need at this point. Let me take a look at the roster. What do we even need? Our offensive line's good and young, for the most part. Well, we are all these guys are like under 29, I think, or under 28. Pooney might be 28. We've got our quarterback. We've got 3 wide receivers, plus Vele's pretty cool too. Running back's okay with Chase Brown. Defense, we've got our free safety. We've got our strong safety. They're both X Factor. Gary's X Factor. Who is this guy? I don't even know. Caleb Downs' X Factor. Fisk went up to superstar. So did Logan Wilson. Trey Henderson's an X Factor. Yeah, we're really developing pretty well here. I guess an Ellis Robinson one wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Or maybe an extra receiver, I guess. I don't really even know. I don't know. We're not picking in a spot where we can get Jeremiah Smith, obviously. Which kind of sucks, but we were a little too good for Jeremiah. He ends up going number 2 to the Bears. So Caleb Williams got himself quite the player. So we could grab KJ Bolden. We could grab Isaac Brown from Louisville. Coy Parrish, South Carolina legend. All these guys are South Carolina legends. Caden Durham might not be a bad one. Do we want to upgrade the running back position? I don't know. I might take Ellis Robinson. I think he might be the best option for us. He ran a 4.37. He's a good player. I know I keep getting corner on corner on corner, but I think I might do it again. Ellis Robinson, he's number 14 in true value, hidden dev. He's probably going to be a pretty high overall as well, and that's really our only pick that we have in this draft. So, all right, it's whatever. I mean, we're not really in a spot to take anybody in the draft that's going to be a starter unless it's like a Jeremiah Smith type of player, and we weren't that good or we weren't that bad, so we didn't get in a spot to take him. Recap, we only had 2 picks in the draft. One of them was Robinson, who ends up being a 79, which is already a very good start for the boys. Jeremiah Smith an 83, as you would expect. Ryan Williams 83, Caden Durham. I probably could have taken Caden Durham. But I think if we switch our playbooks to the Bills playbook, we're gonna be pretty fine. We're probably gonna be pretty fine with our running back. Chase Brown's probably gonna take a big jump up. So let's look at our schemes here. So our offensive scheme, our best fit is a 73. Our defensive scheme, our best fit is an 86. And then if we switch to Buffalo offense, and honestly probably Buffalo defense as well, let's just go full in on Buffalo. We'll just take over their identity. And maybe this year we'll actually simulate pretty well. We finished the year and we were the number 1 seed, 12 wins on the season. I hate the fact that playbooks matter so much. The moment we switch to from Bengal playbook to Bills playbook, we instantly are a good team, even though we should have been a good team regardless. I don't know. It's a little annoying that playbooks have such an impact on the sim, but that's the way that it goes sometimes. But hey, Joe Burrow still put up good numbers, not the elite electric highlighter type of numbers that he was putting up in the Bengal playbook, but still solid numbers. 4,300 yards, 36 touchdowns, 6 picks for Joe Burrow. And he ran 43 times. He's no Josh Allen, but he ran 43 times. Chase Brown gets more yards. I would expect this to go up for star for him. 1,000 yards, 1,700 yards is what I should say. 10 touchdowns for Jamar Chase. Higgins puts up 949. Good numbers. Yoshivas had 9 touchdowns. Defensively, we had 130 tackles from Logan Wilson, 100 from Demetrius Knight. Cam Taylor-Britt 95. Dax Hill at 95. Caleb Downs had 88. Good for Caleb. 14 tackles for loss for Shamar Stewart. Sack leader was also Shamar with 9 sacks. Knight had 6.5, 5 for Hendrickson. And then the pick leader was Cam Taylor-Britt with 5, 3 for Geno Stone, 2 for Caleb Downs, 1 for a couple other guys. And we make the playoffs as the number 1 seed. Are we going to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers and go to the AFC Championship? Probably the way that the Buffalo Bill playbook simulates. I would be shocked if we didn't. And we move on. 28-18. We play the Chiefs. A little bit of a rematch from a couple years ago. Caleb Downs already an 87 overall. He's going crazy. Good thing we made the trade for him. But we take on the Chiefs. Rematch of the 2021? When the Bengals beat the Chiefs and they went to the Super Bowl? I think it was 2021. I can't remember sure. It could have been 2022. I don't remember exactly when that happened. But I know the Bengals, I'm pretty sure they beat the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl. But although I think it was an Arrowhead that they did it. Anyway, that doesn't matter because it's not 2021 anymore. It's 2027, and we got an AFC Championship at home. Try to go to the Super Bowl. It'd be pretty sick if we could win. It's time for the AFC Championship, and it is raining cats and dogs. It's a monsoon here in Cincinnati as we take on the Chiefs. Maybe that'll work in our favor. Maybe it won't. I don't know. The Chiefs, I mean, they usually play in like cold weather. I don't know if they ever could play in wet weather like this. Sloppy weather. I love it sloppy. Mahomes can't hold on to the football. We're winning 24-7, so maybe it is working in our favor. And we got the football back again, and we will win the AFC Championship. The Cincinnati Bengals, for the first time since, you know what, I'm going to go with 2021. For the first time since 2021, the Cincinnati Bengals will be in the Super Bowl. They did it. They actually did it. Joe Burrow got the job done. Mahomes didn't throw a single touchdown in that game. Understandably, it was raining unbelievably. Like the next flood, God sent down the rain to flood the sins. Absolutely insane. But we moved to the Super Bowl. Who are we taking on, though? Because last time the Bengals were in the Super Bowl, they played the Rams. It didn't go well. It'll be probably not a much better option. The Philadelphia Eagles will try to win another Super Bowl in their history. But the Bengals want to get their first one. This is Joe Burrow's legacy game. We cannot let him down. The Bengals are back in the Super Bowl for the first time since they had their hearts broken all those years ago by the LA Rams. This could be the chance to get the one trophy that has eluded this franchise in its history. But it does not come at an easy price. It is against the Philadelphia Eagles. Even though we are up 13-0, maybe it is going to be easy. 19, oh my God, are we going to put up a donut? Okay, they get a touchdown on the board, but that might be a little too late. And it is the Cincinnati Bengals, our Super Bowl champions. We've done it. We fixed the Bengals. We saved them. It only took, 3 years and changing playbooks and bringing in a bunch of random people? It took a lot, basically, is what I'm saying. But we got the Bengals a Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history. Joe Burrow legacy game. He did it. And the defense dominated against Philadelphia. Not what I would have expected from this Bengals defense, but I mean, this is a different Bengals defense than it is in real life, obviously. We've made some big-time upgrades. Joe had 2 touchdowns in the game as well. He played pretty crispy, but we did the dang thing. We win the Super Bowl. We have officially saved the Cincinnati Bengals. We couldn't do it with Joe Flacco, unfortunately. I wish that would have been pretty cool. Maybe I should have changed the playbook from the start. I hate that the playbooks are so dependent. You're so playbook dependent. They said that they changed that. Obviously, they didn't. I mean, they might have changed it to where the Chiefs playbook's not good anymore. but it's obviously still playbook dependent because it's always the same teams every year that make it. It's the Lions, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Bills. It's the same few teams that make the playoffs or make the Super Bowl every single year. The Falcons even. This is what our final roster looked like. So it is a little bit of an overhaul on the offense, which kind of it needed to be. We brought in Caden Proctor instead of Orlando Brown. We drafted him. We kept Dylan Fairchild and we kept Amarius Mims, which I was always planning on doing. We brought in Graham Barton at center and Dominic Pooney. Wide receiver stays the same. Running back stays the same. Quarterback obviously stays the same once he came back from his injury after the first season. We got rid of Mike Gesicki, brought in Michael Mayer and Harold Fannin. I really wish I could have gotten Sam Laporta. That would have been super sick. But the defense is basically the Bengal defense with a little bit of sprinkling here and there. I mean, Logan Wilson, Demetrius Knight, Geno Stone, all the same. Defensive line is exactly the same except for Brandon Fisk Braden Fisk is now the D tackle one instead of BJ Hill. And then corner is Cam Taylor Britt, Dax Hill. We brought in Deontay Banks and Benjamin Morrison, but other than that, it's still Newton as well. Caleb Downs and Tyler Gary are new. There's a few sprinkles here and there, but it's mostly the same defense that it was, which is kind of crazy. And that is going to do it for the Bengal rebuild, I guess you can call it, or more just saving the Bengals from the disaster that their team is going to become if they're not careful. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you again to let me confirm if it was Tommy or not, because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Yes, Tommy Stewart. Thank you. I appreciate you for suggesting this. So that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more. And if you want to suggest your own video idea, leave them down below in the comments of any video or any post that I make, and I will take them on in the future. That's going to do it for me, though. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.